Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne, and I bring you a video tonight titled, Your Rotation of Women is an Illusion, Part 2, Take Shots Like Kobe. And tonight's video has been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. And to everyone who's ordered your copies, they're on the way. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages in the dating space. You know I'm your man. But let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. You know, we're talking about just the illusion of having a rotation of women. You know, don't fall in love with the illusion of a rotation. That's what we're talking about tonight. And this is part 2. You know, you have to take your shots like Kobe Bryant, man. Shout out to the legendary, you know, one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. He was the greatest, not because he was accurate and he worked hard. He took a lot of shots, man. And that's what I want to get across to you all tonight. And I just want to rehash some things I talked about last night in the original version of Your Rotation of Women is an Illusion. And just talk about how, you know, these women in your rotation, it's not a harem. You don't own them. They're moving the same way that you're moving, and they can disappear at any given moment in time. So you can't fall in love with the concept and the reality that you may have a few women in your space on a regular basis, a rotation. It's not a harem, meaning that they're not there to stay. So the fact that, you know, just revisiting from last night, the fact that the women in your life, they're single, that means that they're not under the leadership of a quality man. That's the only thing that really brings stability to a woman, is that she's under the leadership of a quality man. So she's unstable, which means that she can disappear at any given moment in time, which brings about the reality, you have to keep taking shots, man. You have to keep taking shots. You can't fall in love with the false perception and false reality that just because you've been able to amass a few women in your space on a regular basis, that they're going to stay there. Rotations are fleeting. That's why it's an illusion. And that's why you can never fall in love with it. And that's what I really want to focus on tonight, is don't fall in love with the illusion of your rotation. You have to keep taking shots. You have to keep taking shots. And like I was saying last night, I have some men that are close to me that, you know, want to go out with me, and we go out and, you know, they want to improve their standing in the dating space. They may have just gotten out of something long term, or they're looking to improve in terms of having more women. I'm open to the men that I know that want to hang out with me. And one thing that I see is that a lot of these men, they fall flat on their face because we're out, and you know, a lot of my friends are tall like me, you know, we're all attractive guys. So it'll get to the point where I've been out with men, and it will be other men that will see us and might see one of my boys or something like that and offer him a chick. And he'll talk to her for a second and then brush her off, just because at the moment he has a few women in his life and he feels comfortable. He's in love with the illusion of his rotation. And then not too long after that, all of the women that he thought were in his harem, he found out they were in his rotation. And then those women disappeared, and he's left with nothing. So a lot of your droughts, when you have a rotation of women and you go to not having any women at all, it's because you got too comfortable. You got too comfortable. You thought it was going to last forever. You're dealing with unstable women in a capacity that is fleeting. That's a rotation. And when you think it's going to last forever, then you're going to be blind and you're not going to be receptive to the women who are trying to enter your space. And that's the worst thing that you can do, is to voluntarily go from having a collection of women that are at your disposal to having none at all, because they did what women do, who are unstable. They disappeared for whatever reason. You don't own these women. You're just having your experience with them for a particular period of time. And so when you understand that, you never stop taking shots. You take shots like Kobe. You out there, you shooting. You trying to hit 81 points every day. You know, shout out to Kobe. And so it's very tempting and situations can put you in an unnecessary involuntary drought. You can be in a situation where, you might have ate a good buffalo that day. You might have had a girl come over, you're extremely attracted to her, and, you all went multiple rounds. She might have spent the night, you might have hit it 4 or 5 times, 3, 4, 5 times. You know how it is when that chemistry is right and you up for it. And then she leaves, and then you go out. You might even go to a grocery store, and I've been in that situation. You might even go to a grocery store, and there's another very attractive woman, and she's giving you those signals to walk up on her. And you're so satiated, you have such a false sense of satisfaction and satiation that you just bypass the woman who's offering herself to you, and that's trying to enter your space, because you have a false sense of security. And then the next thing you know, within the next few days, that woman that you were with that had you so satisfied, she does something stupid. And then you have to get out of her space. And then the other women that you have, they back away from you, and then you're left with nothing. And that's a voluntary drought. It's because you were afraid to take those shots like Kobe. You can't have a false sense of security. So every woman that's trying to offer herself to you, when you have a collection of women, you have to field her. You have to filter her and see if she belongs in your space, because your space is not solidified. No woman in your rotation has compelled you to the point that you want to leave the rotation and explore more with the woman. No woman has done that. So every woman in your rotation is on equal footing, which means that you have to be open and conscious to the women that are trying to enter your space, and you have to take those shots like Kobe. And some women, in your rotation, they may want more, and what they do is that you'll have a set amount of time for every woman that comes to your space that's in your rotation. Every woman that you're spending time with. You may pour up a drink, have a little conversation, and then y'all get to it, and she's supposed to leave. You may hit it once or twice or something like that, but then, she might start grabbing on you and try to, get you to hang in there longer and this and that. But she's actually keeping you away from other women who could be in your rotation. And let me explain that. Because, as a sexy, attractive man, and you're interested in building a rotation, that means you have to be out and about, in lounges, clubs, bars, on apps. Like, you have to be everywhere where women are on a consistent basis. So you can't let one of the women in your rotation occupy too much of your time, because she's an unstable entity with no leadership that's in your space, meaning that she could disappear at any given moment in time. But so you can't allow her to monopolize your time. So you have a set amount of time that you kick it with every woman, and you send her on her way. And a lot of times you'll have time to shower up, get yourself together, and go out and meet more women. And you don't want to rob yourself of the experience of the other women who could be in your space. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you have women in your rotation, and you have a false sense of security, and then your desire wanes to get at new women. And you miss your woman who could pull you out of your women, who could pull you out of your rotation. Your false sense of satiation and satisfaction could actually take you away from your woman, the woman who captivates you and compels you to depart from your rotation of other women. That's a better experience. I'll be honest with you. To have a collection of women that you're unsure about, that's why it's a rotation. You're unsure about these women. You're not sold on these women. So to have a collection of women who are unstable and you're unsure of, who are giving you a good experience, it pales in comparison to having that one woman who gives you the optimal experience. And if your eyes are not open and your desire is not in perspective, then you'll be satisfied with the unstable nature of your rotation, and you'll think you have a harem. You don't have a harem. You don't have control over these women. So don't let any woman in your rotation keep you away from possibly finding your woman, the one who's going to give you the optimal experience that pales in comparison to the collection of women and the experience that you're having with them, the women in your rotation. You don't want to miss out. And the only way to not miss out is you have to take those shots like Kobe, man. You have to take those shots like Kobe. None of them have compelled you to leave the pack. None of the women in your rotation have shown you enough to make you operate not like you're single. So stop operating like you're married to your rotation, because you're going to miss out on the next woman who could be a more solidified presence in your rotation, and the women who are actually in your rotation who can leave at any given moment in time. Your rotation has to stay open, because the women in your rotation, they're unstable, they're unproven, and they don't have guidance and leadership from a solid man. So these are not solid women on solid footing. They can disappear at any given moment in time. So you have to continue to take your shots like Kobe. I don't care if you just ate a nice right buffalo right before you went out. You went multiple rounds with a woman. You know, you're completely drained and satisfied. You're feeling good. You showered up, you replenished, and you went out. See, the thing about that, this is your most advantageous time in terms of finding more, even women more beautiful than the women you have in your rotation. It's because women love men that they can smell the scent of sex on. And I'm not talking about the scent of the woman that you were just with. I'm talking about the energy of her presence that's still on you. Women know men who have multiple women, and women desire men who have multiple women. Women know those men who have multiple women. So they have to get in line. They have to shit or get off the pot. And so when you're satiated and you've just been dealing with multiple women, that's the perfect time to go out, because women are going to smell the scent of other women on you. They're going to smell the scent. They're going to smell the competition. They're going to smell the allure. They're going to recognize your optimal level of sexual attraction, because other women want you. And so instead of being so comfortable that you just call it a night after you've had women, or had a woman in your presence and you all were intimate, nah, man, brush her off because she's not solidified her place. Shower up and go out and experience an even more beautiful woman who's going to offer herself to you because she smells the scent of other women on you. That's how deep this thing is, man. You don't want to miss out on the optimal woman because you're holding on to a false sense of women who are in your presence. It's a fallacy. It's a falsehood. It's an illusion. They're not yours. They're just there for however many time they're going to be there. And you might find the woman that you want to be there for a prolonged period of time if you go out with an empty gun and a slick mouth. See, when you are satiated and you have a collection of women, it makes you even more bold. It makes you more confident. And so when you talk to women, you're talking in extremely straight lines. You're telling them exactly what's on your mind because you have a can't lose and nothing to lose attitude. Women pick up on that and they quickly conclude that they're not special to you, which makes them want you more. So you have to go out with a slick mouth and an empty gun. Yeah, you were just with that woman. She might have tried to overstay and this and that, say, hey, I have some things to do. We kept our agreement in accordance with the scope of the relationship that we have. Don't get too comfortable. You tell the woman to not get too comfortable because you're not comfortable with her. You're not too comfortable with her, meaning that you don't elevate her to a place that she's not. She's in your rotation. She has other guys she's dealing with. She might like you a little bit more, but you still have to have your eyes open for the optimal woman who is not her. She's not her because you're not satisfied with her. And if you hold on to her, then you'll miss out on the woman that you might ultimately be satisfied with. The woman that can pull you out of the rotation. Or the woman who might replace a woman who acts up, just does what women do, act unstable, can't recognize what they have in front of them, think the grass is greener, they leave your rotation. And so you constantly have to be filling the roles of your rotation. And you won't get overwhelmed because of the unstable nature of a rotation in women. You won't be overwhelmed, even if you're bringing new women in, because women eliminate themselves. They don't have guidance and leadership from an elevated man, so they don't even know how to remain in the space of an elevated man for a prolonged period of time. So it's only a matter of time before she leaves. Even if you have a group of women that you're having satisfactory experiences with, you're still on borrowed time. And that's why you have to take shots like Kobe. You can't elevate these women to anything more than what they are until they show you. And the collection of women in your space, you're not sold on any of them. That's why you still have a rotation. So you can't elevate any of them above the reality of their space in your life, which means that your eyes are always open and that you're always having awareness of the other women that are trying to enter your space, because you don't know which woman is going to be the one. So don't overvalue, don't promote women or the concept of a rotation above what it actually is. It's just a rotation, man. It's not a harem. Women are not at your beck and call, under your submission. It's just a group of women at a certain point in time that happen to be acting right and moving in accordance in your space with how you see yourself. So now you have a rotation, but nothing's guaranteed with those women, so you have to continue to take your shot. So I had to make a part 2 just to let you know that you can never be satisfied. You can never be satisfied. Even if women are acting right and things like that, don't get a false sense of security. Don't go out and women are rolling up on you and you're brushing them off because you're so satisfied with what you have in that moment, because it's just a moment. Moments are fleeting. The rotation is a representation of change, of instability. That's the only constant in life, is change. So don't treat your rotation like it's a permanent fixture in your life. It's just a rotation, man. That's all it is. And keep your eyes open for the remaining women and the new women that are trying to enter your space, because these women could be higher quality than what you already have. And don't lose sight of the women in your rotation. If they're giving you a good experience, you give them that experience as well. But you understand that they're subject to change at any given moment of time, because they're not stable, because they're not under the guidance and leadership of a stable man, of a solid man. So don't elevate them above what they are. They're just fixtures in your life at a certain moment in time. That's it. They can disappear at any given moment in time. So maintain the awareness that your circle is not closed. Your rotation is not closed. Keep your eyes open for the women who are giving you the energy. And a lot of times, as you have a rotation, these new women are going to give you great energy because they smell the scent of other women on you. They smell your desirability. They quickly deduce that you're the sexy, attractive man. That's a departure from the normal man that she would encounter. You have a take it or leave it attitude, respectfully. While other men are begging and groveling just to get in their space. They'll eat all kinds of shit just to get close to them, just to get a whiff of that pootie. And they come across you, you just ate a nice buffalo. You went multiple rounds, had multiple women. And they smell that scent on you. And they say, oh yeah, he's a little different. This is someone I want to explore. And they know not to bring anything stupid to you. So leverage your rotation to create an energy about you that lets women know that you're desirable and that they can't play around with you. And in that way, as women drop off, you always have new women coming in because you're taking shots like Kobe. You don't have a false sense of security. You have an accurate perception of the instability of the women that are in your rotation, man. I said enough, man. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight titled, Your Rotation is Just an Illusion. Your rotation of women is an illusion, part 2. Part 2. Take shots like Kobe. Never stop taking those shots. It's been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies, man. If you think I'm spitting that real game on here, man, there's all kinds of game in my books, man. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised by what you read in my books. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And if you are interested in having me make a custom video on a particular topic, make a donation of $50 or more to my PayPal or my Cash App information that's in my video description. And leave your note in PayPal or Cash App, which is the title of what you want me to talk about. And I'll get right to it in 24 hours or less. If your subject that you want me to talk about is more in depth than just leaving a note, make your donation first and then email me at matthewchorne.com with your more in-depth description of what you want me to talk about in the video. Your video will be, your email will be assessed, and I will make a high quality video that will be up on my page, Matthew C. Horne Dating, within 24 hours or less. So yeah, you want the custom videos, just make your donation. And if this video has been of value to you, if you notice your thought process have been elevated as a result of encountering my message, make sure that you drop something substantial in my donation information that's in my PayPal or my Cash App. All of that is in my video description. Make your donations. You know I'm giving you some real game. Make your donations. And if you're in need of coaching, and if you know that my voice resonates with you, and I'm your next level, I'm the bridge between you and everything that you want in the dating space, email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave coaching in the subject matter, leave your name, your phone number, and a good time to contact you. And whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space, I'll do an assessment of whatever your issue is, and I'll get back to you immediately with the terms of the coaching, and the coaching will begin immediately. I've enjoyed spending some time with you tonight. Part 2 was needed. Part 2 was needed because I don't want you to get comfortable just because you've elevated yourself and you've done the right things, and now you have access to a collection of women that you're attracted to. None of them have solidified themselves and risen above the pack. It's an illusion. It's just a collection for a particular period of time. Always leave your rotation open. Leave your options open. Don't stare away from the women that are staring at you, even if you have a collection of women, because you never know which woman is going to be your woman. You never know which women are going to give you the heightened and elevated experiences. Women disappear. They're unstable. So always keep your eyes open for more women, so that you're always in a space that you're not experiencing voluntary droughts, but you're having optimal experiences with attractive women that inspire you to be in this space. I'll see you soon.